Thanks for watching.
Thank you, PlayStation. We love you. I'm going to be real. Brandon, Naruto, why was that like one of the top 3 things from this freaking showcase? Who
Because
saw
so
that
many
come?
games that compose the Ultimate Ninja Storm, the fact that they're streamlining the whole thing, at least that's the way it looks like, that sounds like a
Yeah,
no-brainer. And it looks a lot better than all
yeah.
the other games. So like they really made it look a lot better. Yeah, bro. I don't
So
know, bro.
let's dive into Suicide Squad. I think that's why we're mainly here, because they told us we're gonna get like 15 minutes dedicated to Kill the Justice League. We finally got gameplay. During the reaction, we expressed our thoughts on that. I have a gripe that's not gameplay related, and I want your thoughts on this.
Okay.
They keep showing the Flash. One, I don't know what Flash this is. This is one thing I hate about this whole ordeal. Is that Barry? Is that Wally? I don't know. Probably doesn't matter.
I believe it's Barry for the sake because of the lightning bolt. Now, if they say that it's
Okay.
Wally, then I'm gonna hate them because they just don't know their lore. Because
Right.
the Wally lightning and the Barry lightning are very different.
They're different. I wouldn't say very different. To the untrained eye, you don't notice.
No. If you pay attention, you notice they're very different.
I'm not saying that they aren't different. I'm just saying to a normal person, they may not notice. It's like one notch.
You know who
Boom,
you're trying to sell that
difference.
point to, right? I'm not the person you
Just
sell
saying.
that point to.
Okay, Scarlet fan 52.
Yes.
So the thing that stands out to me that's kind of frustrating is we're in the Arkhamverse, and that by itself should get me high excited. But it doesn't feel like the Arkhamverse. And that probably is because we only ever spent time in Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and then finally Gotham City. And every first look we've gotten, it looks like we're in a version of Metropolis. And then we see like Central City and wherever that Wonder Woman statue is located. It feels insane. Hey, Adam, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Happy to see you, man. Let us know your thoughts on anything that was shown here during the state of play. One thing that's kind of frustrating is that it feels maybe too foreign, and by having our first introduction to the Justice League be Evil Justice League, I think is a major problem. Like, I don't know who this Barry is, and so he's talking junk and like threatening to break my fingers, and it's like I might feel differently if I have met this version of the Flash before this turn, and maybe the game will do that in like a prologue or something, but
Like we'll
it
get
just kind of rubs me the
some
wrong way.
type of yeah.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, they're trying to explain it away as this is not Gotham, this is Metropolis. That's why it looks so and feels so different. But at the same time, I don't know. It's I don't see the appeal in the game. I just don't see it. I don't see it the way I feel the game is it's looking and feeling. I feel that the only difference between this one and other games like it is that they're DC characters. It's not because it feels like something fresh and original. Does that make sense? Which in a way, that's why the Batman Arkham Knight games were so good because the reality is, was the gameplay game changing? Yes and no, but you would never doubt that it was a Batman game. Everything about it made it a Batman game. Nothing could replicate Batman game as Arkham. You see what I'm saying? Like you can take like parts of the battle system and stuff like that, but it was a Batman game. This feels like a game. And it's a DC game because you keep reminding us that the Suicide Squad has to kill the Justice League. You keep telling us that the Justice League is there. You keep telling us that the Suicide Squad is there. You keep repeating to us. You keep telling us what it's supposed to be, not letting it be what it is. Does that make sense? Am I overthinking it?
No, not at all. I think that's exactly the problem is that it feels like, and Adam in the chat here brings up a great point. It feels like Avengers. It feels like Avengers, and guys, in the worst possible way, where you're creating a looter shooter essentially. But the selling point is these are characters that you know, these are characters that you love, and it's like that's if you're gonna tell a story with the Suicide Squad, make it distinctly a Suicide Squad story, right? And
Correct.
that's why it's kind of weird that the selling point, like every trailer we've gotten, well, the last two at least, the Flash has been a central thing. Of like, look how big of an asshole he is. Look how big of
Yep.
a jerk and on that the Flash is because he's been corrupted. It's like, okay, sell me on Captain Boomerang, sell me on King Shark. I know we know Harley. That should be a deal too, right? Like if this is the Arkham universe, we have seen Harley Quinn like 4 times because she's in the 3 Arkham games and she had her own DLC story. So why don't you lean into that if you're actually in the Arkham universe and one of the main characters has been prominent in the Arkham story? I just feel like we probably need to evaluate what the goal is here. Maybe that's my thing.
You know what's crazy though? Part of me looks at the whole situation and goes like, okay, it's Suicide Squad. But
Yep.
did you have to pick that all the members have to be people we know? Like they deliberately picked the ones that were made popular or known because of the movies and the animated films. Like Harley Quinn had to be there, right? Like Boomerang makes all the sense in the world, but you could have picked other members of it. It didn't have to be those. And the funny thing is that all of them, even King Shark, that routinely is not known for, I don't know, wielding weapons. They are all built in the same kind of way. The distinctions are there, but they're not deliberate distinctions, which I think that's what hurts the most. Like the distinctions of the characters are not as deliberate enough for me to be like, okay, cool, I want to play. I mean, they did mention like in certain stages you kind of want to switch it up and change the characters that you're playing as, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, if it's not a day one for me, it may not be. I never played Avengers. I played like maybe the first part and then it crashed and I
Ooh.
never picked it up again because I just
I will
didn't care. But
I
I
will
don't know, man.
say Avengers is a fun story. And I think to their credit, Avengers is a really good story. But that's not the type of game they wanted to tell. If they wanted to make it 100% a story driven, like single player, even multiplayer experience, that should have been the focus. But it was always we're going to have DLC, we're going to have these extra missions, we're going to have these new characters. And it was never, hey, let's make the best $60 game we could. It was, let's make a good entry point and then try and get you to keep spending money. And that's what this game feels like. And I want to highlight, I did say that everything in the battle pass is purely cosmetic. You're not going to have to pay to get a better gun or to get better bombs or a better grappling hook. It's just you want to look cool, which, good save, because as soon as I saw battle pass, I called it out right there in the corner when we were in the menu screen. Yeah, it's looking kind of sad, very sad.
Yep.
It's a shame.
Yep.
Yeah, they need other characters we don't. Killer Frost, yeah. So
Bro,
here's another strange part. You guys remember
no
that
menace.
Assault on Arkham movie?
Yes. Was
That's
so good.
canon. Also, we changed Deadshot's rate for that movie to this game, probably because Will Smith. Anyway, that was canon to the Arkhamverse. Killer Frost would have made so much sense. And also, you can lean into that being canon by having the chemistry between her, Deadshot, Boomerang, and Harley over this time span of them being the Suicide Squad. It feels like it's only connected to the Arkham universe because Rocksteady also made the Arkham universe. Because, yeah, we also have met the Suicide Squad already.
There you go. And not only that, why don't I have why can't I play a villain that's a freaking meta? Why not?
Yeah.
Because King Shark don't count. He's a freaking thing. Like, Like, why can't, I mean, they say they're going to have more playable characters, which they're going to, of course, 100% hide behind a play wall, which again, it's going to be stupid because it's probably going to be part of the battle pass. And, but like,
Mm,
why wouldn't you pick a character that's a meta and make him playable? You know what I mean? Like, again, what you hit it with, like Floss, Killer Frost,
yeah.
or maybe even Captain Freaking Cold. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
bro.
It I think that's another thing that really stood out to me is that they're all just people with guns. And yeah, okay, he throws boomerangs. Boomerangs, bullets. At the end of the day, as the player, it's going to feel the same thing. I'm going to I'm going to hit the trigger. He's going to throw a projectile. So having a gun or ice powers does change up the gameplay aspect of it all. So I agree
Yep.
there. Let's talk on the positive note though, because we did get Street Fighter. Yeah, why is it? Before we move on though, why is it Ayer's Suicide Squad? That's a good question. As far as I can tell, people didn't enjoy that. So why do
I
we
mean,
keep
I mean,
going back to that iteration?
respect to King to Killer Croc, because I think
Yeah,
no matter how we feel about Ayers, he was a highlight of Ayers Suicide Squad
he's
because
beautiful.
yes, the prosthetics are amazing, and he did what he needed to do for
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, it's pretty much Ayers. Yeah, yeah. And
Let's talk
Fighter
Street
Six.
Fighter though,
Yes,
because
yes.
Street Fighter 6 did look amazing. Again, like I don't want to harp on the disappointment of Suicide Squad, but Street Fighter looked
I
great.
think your
We
reaction to
got
Cammy is going to be recorded forever in the webs. By the way.
I mean, it's already here in the archive, and as we speak, I'm already telling YouTube to chop this up and make highlights for it. So that'll be here on the channel, guys. um,
So good.
Street Fighter 6 looked amazing. Trying to pull up
Yes.
the character list here right quick. Probably should just go to Street Fighter's Twitter account. That might be
Yeah. So
the
we know for a
smart
fact we
thing
get
to
Luke.
do.
We got Luke. We got Ryu. We got E Honda. We got Blanca. We got Ken. Um, we have. I know these names. I know we have the young girl. Is Jamie the young African American girl that does graffiti?
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Yep.
got Jamie. We just got introduced Zangief because we need our Red Riot. We got Zangief. We got Lily, which is a new character.
Yeah.
And then we got Cammy's coming back. One of the things that I've always loved about Street Fighter, and most fighting games do this anyway, but I love how they always have a healthy mix to start up the first startup characters. They always have a healthy mix of brand new characters and classic characters. So I've always liked that. Did they introduce Guile?
Kyle. I think in the last trailer, actually.
Okay, because Guile's my boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me and Guile go back.
He's an OG.
Yes. Yeah.
Team Chun. Yeah, Chun-Li is fantastic. I was telling Brandon during the stream that I got a chance to play the last beta. Chun's great. It's very much classic Chun though. So
Do they
if you're
switch
looking
the
for new
way her hyper kick works? Because in Street Fighter V, they moved it from button mashing to being like a Hadouken control. Like it's no longer like you know how in the classic Street Fighter,
Yeah.
you would repeatedly press the kick button and it will create the hurricane.
So one thing, and I haven't played Street Fighter 5, so you'll have to let me know. There's two control options. There's like I played in classic control, so she played like she does in Street Fighter 2, essentially.
Interesting.
But if
that
you
wasn't a
played
thing in Street Fighter 5.
the modern control, yeah. So if you played the modern control, it might be more akin to what was in the last game, but that's something I wouldn't know. Yeah, Cammy, she looks great, more ways than one. But her gameplay,
all the right
amazing.
poses,
so many poses. But yeah, like I love playing this game. I can't wait to try these new characters. One thing that I really enjoy is how distinct all of them feel, and how all of their different move sets and powers from the beta I played were distinct and different. And seeing the game here in these in the new trailer we just got really just highlights what I enjoy about Street Fighter 6. So I'm so excited. I'm so hyped for this. It looks great. Every time I see this game, it looks great.
Yes, it does.
Is this a
So
day
good.
one purchase?
Yes, for me, it definitely is. I mean, right now I'm kind of suffering that I didn't pick up Hogwarts Legacy when I wanted to, but I see this being a day one purchase for me. What is it, June 20 something that it comes out?
Yeah, it's in. I think it's June 2nd, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm going to say this.
I'm surprised I was gonna say I'm surprised Suicide Squad is coming out before Street Fighter. That is something I did not expect at all.
Well, at least Street Fighter's never been delayed.
That's fair.
That's one. And two, one of the things that I've always appreciated from Street Fighter is that you can always purchase whatever you get as upgrades. It's always going to be a tire similar to what Suicide Squad says to be doing. Like they do hide characters behind a paywall and stuff like that, but the game is 100% fully functional without it. So it's like if you want to expand the roster, then you spend the money. And a lot of times, because of the way the characters are built, it's totally worth the money. The way I see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Was there anything else that kind of stood out to you from? I'm scrolling through Twitter and seeing immediate reactions. A lot of people were underwhelmed. That might be because one, they didn't realize this was an indie and VR showcase.
Yeah.
And two, Suicide Squad just kind of ended on a. But anything else?
And even the VR stuff was all third party. They didn't really show off Horizon like we were expecting though. Like they showed like a clip of it, but they never got into it. So hopefully we'll get another thing of Horizon in the future. That game Chai looks interesting. The things that we saw for VR2, I think were all way too similar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they look okay. They look nice, though. I like how very fluid it feels and it looks. But until I actually get my hands on it, I will never know. Now, and I never played the original VR, so I don't know what the differences are. But yeah, man. I mean, apart from Street Fighter and Ultimate Ninja Storm, which I was not expecting to be hyped about, I think those are the ones.
Naruto, Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm connections. I didn't expect that at all, but like I was saying during the initial reaction there, it just looks good. It looks like you were saying, it looks like a proper remaster remake of what those games are.
And it looks heavily polished.
Yeah, very polished, very clean. Because as somebody who has played the Ninja Storm games, I didn't love them, but seeing like this looks 10 times better. Like they took it and they fine-tuned it to make it the best that it could possibly be. And the Boruto stuff, I'm gonna be real. Laugh at Boruto all you want. Fights are cool. So if I get to go back into those and do that.
Yes. I really hope we get some of the Momoshiki action. Like we get to fight him. As you imagine being able to do a co-op and use Naruto and Sasuke to fight Momoshiki and like replay that whole thing. Buddy.
Yeah, just different versions of Sasuke too, though, right? Because like Sasuke, by the time you get to Boruto, spoilers, I guess, he's missing an arm. He's a swordsman. He's got a sword thing going on. So like, what's the difference between the different levels of Sasuke throughout that game? And like, what does final form Boruto Sasuke play like? That for me is what's really interesting.
He has no legs, no arms, and holds the sword with his mouth. He's all torso.
And he's still fighting. That's some Deku nonsense right there.
Yes.
Going back to the
TikTok,
chat.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
That TikTok you send me about Brooklyn Nine-Nine jokes on MHA, fire.
So funny. So funny. Just catching up with the chat. Leo, they're bringing back the classic move controls. So that's really fun. That's dope.
That's the proper
Adam is
reaction,
saying
Leo. Oh shit.
rival school characters. That might be actually kind of cool, honestly, going back to that. And
Yo,
yeah,
Sean.
day one purchase for sure.
Yeah.
Scene. Gotta love Key and Peele. Anyway, he's like the Black Knight from Monty Python.
He's talking about Sasuke.
Facts. Yes, facts.
Yo.
Believe it. I can't wait for Naruto. I can't wait to get my hands back on Street Fighter. I'm so mad. I'm hoping we get another beta because I want to play this game like right now. I'm hoping they announce another beta so everybody can enter, get the codes, we can play together. Otherwise, guys have to just join together on June 2nd when the game comes out. That was a PlayStation State of Play for 23rd of February. I think that's a show. That's a wrap, right? I think we're good.
That's it. Can't wait for another one.
Guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss anything here happen at the Chatter After YouTube channel. Also, Jeff Grubb said on his show that this is just the beginning. Expect a huge PlayStation showcase, a proper PlayStation showcase